Good morning. They told me I couldn't walk in front of the speakers. I wonder what happens if I do. Then you all wake up, right? Well, welcome to the WLPC. Years ago, we were just going to call this Wireless LAN Summit or some crazy name. And somehow it just became the hashtag. So we'll just continue to call it that. It's actually Wireless LAN Professionals Conference, but we're glad you're here. Don't worry, UC's going to do this all day. You'll see him walk up, like stand. If you're presenting, he'll be like on his knees in front of you taking your picture. So it's just the UC way. Well, welcome everyone. I found a slide that has lots of languages because we have lots of languages represented here. Hopefully, as a hint for all those who will be presenting, and a reminder to myself, not everyone speaks English as a first language, so try to pace yourself. I know I have a tendency to talk too fast. I learned when I was in first year of university, I took a public speaking class, and the instructor graded us on how fast we could read. So you had a document, and you had to read it in, if you read it in under 40 seconds, you got an A. If it took more than a minute, you got a B. And he wanted you to talk very, very fast. Because the faster I talk, the less time your brain has cycles to think of other things. Which works really good if you speak English as a first language. If there's a translation cycle in there, you're already using up all of the cycles you've got. So pace yourself, try to be as slow as possible. So, a couple of housekeeping things. Food and drinks and breaks are down these stairs. We're going to go downstairs. There's another space right underneath us, and there's where we're going to have our breaks and stuff. Breakfast is downstairs. Lunch will also be downstairs in the restaurant, but for breaks, we'll be right underneath where we are here. So, out that way. Bathrooms, there's some if you go out the back and over, or downstairs as well. Power, if you need power for your laptops, there's a bar back there. Behind the bar is a whole bunch of power outlets. Hopefully, you won't be using your laptops too much. Hopefully, you're here to listen and to learn. If your heads are down looking at your laptops and typing, you're looking at your laptops and typing. Second issue is Wi-Fi. This is the Wireless LAN Professionals Conference, and anyone notice what kind of brand of Wi-Fi they have here? Zyzel, yeah, gotta love that. It's okay, it's 802.11b only. It's 12 years old, and state-of-the-art when we ask the hotel, what kind of Wi-Fi do you have? Oh, state-of-the-art high-speed Wi-Fi. Yeah, well, given that, it's also got a captive portal, and we have a couple of talks in the next couple of days on captive portals. So they'll be using this as an example, of course. There is conference Wi-Fi in this room, and it's not 802.11b. It's actually faster, but it has a sole AP for all of us to share. So don't be downloading the latest iOS updates, or if you got a Mac and there's new Office 16 updates, all 2.5 gig of them, don't do them while you're here. I know it's tempting. You got your computer, just turn it on. We have a small, limited amount of bandwidth, and let's share it between all of us. Then again, that's not what we're here for. We're here for each other. So first, thank all of you for coming. Yay. The reason I put you first is because this conference is all about you. That's why we're having a conference, so you could come and get together and learn from each other and share experiences, etc. You are the number one reason. But if I'm thanking people, I've got to thank Fernay. You raise your hand. Fernay works with me. Fernay Munoz. He's the little Colombian who is overly eager to meet all of you, and love to have him involved. Matthew in the back in the kind of dark teal shirt also works with me, does all the administrative functions. If you have any questions about hotel, space, payments, whatever, he's the guy to talk to. So, thanks to your help. And Ben in the back, wave your hand, Ben. Ben in the back. Ben's doing the video production. One of the things we wanted to do from the very first conference is record all the sessions so that we can share them. I have this funny line that I've been saying for years. I think knowledge is like manure. Let your translation processors work on that for a minute. Knowledge is like manure, because if you spread it around, things grow. If you just hang on to it, you stink. So the knowledge that we're going to be having in the next couple of days, the idea is to bring you here and to share, or share freely. So all of the videos from the last sessions are also on your USB drive, because we want to share as much knowledge as possible. And then, of course, the speakers. All the speakers in this conference don't come because somebody donated money or there was a vendor who said, oh, I really want to talk about my product. They're here because this is what they do. All speakers come from attendees. We don't sell speaker slots. This is just because you're here. So UC's going to talk. Where'd he go? He was like right there. He moved. He just keeps hiding. So, yeah, he's from a vendor. John's from a vendor. Our speaker's from a vendor. It's not that they're from a vendor. It's that they're part of the community, and so we have them speak. Yes, there's vendor issues because there are vendors we have to deal with. But no one's here representing their company. They're just here because they're part of who we are. So a little history. Years ago, I started this website, wirelesslandprofessionals.com, WLANpros.com, and our tagline at the time was, a place to educate, inform, entertain, and inspire. I thought that was a pretty good tagline. I wanted people to come together and learn from each other, have a little fun when they're doing it, and try to inspire people to move forward. I started a podcast, Wireless LAN Weekly. It went weekly for like a month, and then it went monthly for a year. And, okay, we haven't done a podcast for a while, I admit. But we got like 50 of them out. That was pretty good. The idea was to kind of get the people together. And then coming off the podcast, I realized there's actually a community of people out there. How do communities normally get together? They have conferences. So we came up with the first conference, and we titled it, it was like, 3 years ago now. It's been a while. It's all about the people. We wanted to have a conference that brought people together. It was kind of the anti-conference. The first one was, I want a conference that I want to attend, not a conference that some vendor wants to put on. And so I made a conference that I'd like to go to. I like getting cool stuff, so you get cool stuff. I like hearing from my peers, so I made it so we can hear from our peers. I hate hearing from vendors sitting out in the booth out in the aisle going, hello, let me swipe your card. So we don't have any vendors swiping your card. And it worked. The first one, I just said, I'm going to invest whatever it costs to make it happen, and if it fails, then I lost my money. Instead, it worked, and so here we are doing them again. And we'll just keep doing them again as long as it keeps working and people show up. But the idea here is that you want to be part of a community. Yeah, you probably told your boss, I need to go to this conference because I'm going to learn. No, you came here to hang out with friends. Now, you're going to learn along the way, and that's pretty cool. And you get some cool stuff in your bag, and that's pretty cool as well. But you're really here to just be part of this community. Part of it is using a hashtag. How many of you are on Twitter? I guess I'll ask the reverse. How many of you are not on Twitter? How did you find that we even have this? We did no advertising outside of Twitter. I mean, I just figured there's a community on Twitter. If you want to play along, you'll be on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, shame on you. And actually, I have no idea how you made it here. So thank you for finding a way to find out about this, since we didn't advertise it anywhere. So get involved in Twitter. Hashtag WLPC_EU for this one. And feel free to share it. How many of you blog? That one's really sad. Every one of you should be blogging. Now, I know you're like, but I don't like to write. I don't care if you like to write or not. You should be blogging. Now, the reason you should be blogging is for yourself. I'm part of something called Tech Field Day. Gregor was part of Tech Field Day for a while, and back when he was independent. Yeah. And we were having a discussion with some of the bloggers that are in Tech Field Day about this one experience that I had. And I found that I wasn't the only one who had the same experience. It was a very general thing. I would write a blog article because there was something I wanted to remember and save, and I thought I'd share it with the world. Fast forward a year, 2 years, 3 years later, I'm doing some other research, and I go, oh, so I go to the Google, that's what we call it, the Google. We went to the Google and did a search, and my blog came up. And the first time I did that, I thought, hey, that's really weird. Like, my own stuff came up because my question. Obviously, Google became my memory because it was my own writing that came back to me. Every single one of the other bloggers said the exact same thing happens to them. You blog so you can remember. Now, hopefully, along the way, other people will read it and you'll help someone else. But it's really for yourself. So, get involved. We have 7, 8 one-hour sessions. The one-hour sessions will be in here. Last year, for the EU one, we split between 2 rooms and we went out, split, back, out. So this time we're just going to all stay here. So we're going to be here all together. We have a break after the first 2 sessions downstairs. Now we only have like 15 minutes, so I know in Europe and you like to go stand by these little guys. There's a bunch of them downstairs, and you'll stand and talk for as long as we let you. So we'll bring you back up so we can get on the next session. We also have 10 talks, and for those of you who haven't seen a 10 talks are 10 minutes long. There's a reason they're called 10 talks. I'll be sitting up here with an iPad with a timer, and when you're up here, you have 10 minutes, and the counter will count down. Now, I'm not going to be really mean and like say 5, 4, 3. Actually, I might. But you'll see the timer. And the idea for the 10 talk is to take your concept you'd like to speak on, and you can't talk for an hour. I got this really cool idea, but it's not that big, so we'll give you 10 minutes. Your idea is probably bigger than 10 minutes, so you're going to have to talk fast and be excited. From an audience standpoint, when you get a 10 talk, if you don't like the topic, chill out for a second. He'll be gone. There'll be a new topic in 10 minutes. So instead of going to a conference where you have to pick, do I want track 1 or track 2? There's this, and I want to... No, you can sit for an hour and get 5 different guys get in front of you and share high energy, fast-paced information. And again, all of these are recorded. For all you speakers, please email me your slide decks after. Again, following the line that I wanted a conference that I would attend. I was working on my slides last night, so I figured everyone else was working on their slides, so I didn't ask for them in advance. But after you present, please send them to me, and then we'll add the video and the slides out on the website so that we can share them with everyone else. Tonight, afterwards, we have a UC-sponsored beer fest. Is that what you want to call it? That'll work. So if afterwards, when we're all done, UC volunteered, he didn't volunteer, he, as his vendor hat said, well, hey, maybe we got some Ekahau money, we can buy beer for people. So there'll be beer here and some Ekahau training at night. Obviously not part of the conference, but if you're here anyway, I also suggest tonight, afterward, we do, there's 100 of you here. We all can't go to one restaurant. So find some friends. And if you eat alone tonight, it's your own fault. There should be more than enough groups going out someplace that you can tag along with somebody and go get a meal. So, your bag. Ta-da, attendee bag. It's a, I thought every time we do one of these, I come up with a new bag. And this one I found was a kind of a cool tactical bag. You can wear it on your hip, you can wear it on your back, you can wear it over your shoulder. It's not terribly big, but it's big enough to hold an iPad. Your MacBook actually might fit, He's going to try it now. So inside, we also have a bunch of stuff, but the big one here is a link printer. I love link printers. I'm actually going to be giving a talk on how this little link printer can troubleshoot your Wi-Fi. And as soon as I say that, people go, wait, it's a wired analyzer. Yeah, hang on. It's a 10 talk. It's not going to take very long, but we'll talk about how a link printer can help. This is the link printer 300. It has lots of great features. It just, ta-da, there you go. Even a MacBook fits in it. Not as stylish as his Merce, though.
I have plenty of Merces. Which one?
That's really sad that you have multiple Merces.
I have a Converse.
You have a Commerce. Okay. So anyway, Lynx printer. I just searched this last night. In Germany, this goes for, online it was 430 euros. So, yeah. It's $400 US, but I don't know why it costs more in Europe. But anyway, so that's kind of a cool thing. Again, we'll have a 10 talk talking about that and discussing how it can help you in Wi-Fi. There is an Aruba access point, and this card you don't have, but you will get one. Because of printing issues, we didn't get them till this morning, and we stuffed all the bags last night. So when you go to the first break, the break's downstairs. As you walk downstairs, you will get one. Okay? There's also a contest that Aruba's running that if you find Jamie, where's Jamie? Jamie, stand up so everyone sees you. He's the one with the black shirt. Oh, wait, that doesn't help. I'm in Europe. So find Jamie and take a selfie with him. And if you post it, they have a full kit with a controller and a 205 and a 215 and another 205 and full licenses and hardware that you'll be eligible to win. So, yeah, they're trying to get lots of selfies of Jamie. So, if you get a chance, all you got to do is take a selfie, and there you go. So, these cards you'll pick up on the way out. There's another one inside here for a antenna. We're learning. The first time. There you go, yeah. So the first time we did a Celotex antennas, thank you very much for getting antennas, we put the big, huge antenna in the box. We had to have a much bigger bag. It would not fit inside this bag. So we have a nice little one, and now you can get the one you want, and it gets shipped to you rather than having to carry it home that way. Hats, you can be Sherlock Holmes with two, and they're both black, so they kind of match that way. Water bottle from IB Wave. Echo trial license is on this one, the black one. Air magnet trial is on the little trifold here. You have download links on the back, and there's the individual labels for the license codes on the front. And then we get to the USB. And this year I didn't even bring one. Anybody have one of the USBs on them? Anyway, the USB is a place where we can share information. So this one took a while to copy yesterday, much longer than I thought, because it has 38 gig of stuff on it. I learned years ago teaching that people would come to class and they'd see some tool I used and go, that was a really cool tool, can I get it? Well, bring me a floppy and we'll copy it. Yeah, that tells you how long ago I've been teaching. And then the floppy became a CD and then became a DVD, and now we're on USBs because they carry more. And the first year we had a USB, it was really tiny. It was so small you could stick it in your Mac and it barely even hung out. And probably 10% of the people lost them. They'd come back, can I have another one? Well, it was 128 gig and you lost it? Yeah, but it's so small. So these aren't quite so small, but these have a micro USB on one side. So they're made to go in an Android device, you put it in, and on here are all the videos from the 2014, the 2015, and last year's EU. So all the presentations are on here. So when you're flying home, you have lots to watch. You just plug this in your Android device, and all the videos are cleanly available for you. So they took up a lot of space. If you don't have an Android device, it has a regular USB. You can plug it in USB. If you have an iOS device, you'll need to put an adapter. They make a little adapter that goes micro to lightning. And so, same device, has all the stuff on there. There's also CWNP, from the last two sessions. This one, the videos, are all the CWNP videos off of their website. They're all localized. Think of this as a little Wi-Fi tech repository. It's there to hold lots of stuff for you to remember. The videos from the Wi-Fi Trek 2015, just last month, how many were there? A couple of us, I saw, yeah. They were shot with periscope. So they do not look like Ben's professional thing. It was very nice that Hey Eddie sat in the front row with his iPhone and periscope, and every now and then would move it. And so when you move it, you see it. The whole thing moves. But at least you have those videos to go along with there. Plus a whole bunch of other videos from other vendors, all this stuff that I could collect that you could share. Yeah, I like having my assets near me, so thanks, Dave. So to be part of the community, you want to Twitter. Share the hashtag WLPC_EU. Be part of blogs. We have, since I started a podcast, we have a couple more. I like podcasts, so support the people who do podcasts. And then after our first conference, one of the things I noticed that other communities do is they do charitable work. They focus on things. So our first year, we helped Disaster Tech Labs, and we did almost $50,000 in cash and hardware to help Disaster Tech Labs. And last year in the U.S., for the U.S. one, we supported the information technology, the ITDRC. They have a bus they drive around. They don't do international. They only do U.S. disaster recovery. So I didn't think it was nice to take, EU money and send it back to the U.S. So this one, we're helping an organization down in Uganda called Hackers for Charity, HFC, ran by a guy by the name of Johnny Long. Has anyone read Johnny Long's books? Johnny Long wrote Google Hacking. Anyway, he gave up being a hacker, working out of DC, took his family, moved to Uganda, and set up this charity to help the Ugandan people. So we're going down there and getting them a bunch of Wi-Fi gear, some point-to-point links, and teaching a CBNA class down there for them. So get involved as much as possible. In fact, Disaster Tech Labs is down in the island of, what's it called, Lesbos? I can't pronounce it. It's in Greece, where all the people are coming, setting up support. And the IT DRCs actually has 2 buses now, and they're in 2 different locations in the U.S. helping disasters. So if you want to get involved, please get involved. So that's the overview of the conference. You do not have assigned seats. So if someone, this is not a church pew that you bought it's yours. So if we go for a break and you come back and somebody's sitting in your chair, okay, If you can't see from the back, Justin goes, I can't see back this corner. We'll move up front, except for that's my seat, But if someone takes my seat, I'll move to another seat as well.